How long gone? Buongiorno. It's our last, well, at least Jason's last European podcast. Thank God. I don't know who's happier, you or me.
I'm gonna go with you. I'm not feeling happy.
What do you mean? I'm saying to return to Los Angeles. You must be feeling happy.
There are pros to that. I'm looking forward to parts of that. I mean, I have enjoyed life on the road. You know, I was a lot more relaxed and chill in the island of Ischia. Then I'm in a different place in Naples right now, Napoli.
Oh, I didn't realize. Jesus Christ, dude, you're literally.
So yeah, we did a podcast and I finished around 9:30 p.m. last night, and then went and had dinner at a remote treehouse restaurant, got home at midnight, went to bed, woke up.
Let me guess. Hold on. How far was the drive to the treehouse restaurant?
It was only 30 minutes each way.
Okay, an hour in the car total. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10, food rating wise?
6.5.
Okay, well, it's not. The numbers aren't working out great for me, but they're not terrible.
We went with the whole slow cooked rabbit, which is the Ischia delicacy of the island.
You need a fucking smoothie. You need a smoothie, bro.
I literally there was the whole rabbit, and they do leave all, the head, the bones, all that stuff. And
oh God,
there were some organs as well, and I don't know what they were. I was taking a bite. I mean, It tasted good. It was good.
Sure.
And then a ball of some sort. I don't know if it was a bladder or a testicle, a kidney, a pancreas, went in my mouth, and I popped it out, and it was all good. But yeah, so got home at midnight, brushed my teeth, go to sleep, wake up, and then edit the podcast with Jamie XX for within 10 minutes of waking up, to get on a boat and then take a ferry to here, and then check into the hotel, and then fire up the old Zoom workplace.
Dude.
So unfortunately, our
dude, boat to ferry.
So I want to apologize.
Nothing is worth that. Like nothing. Isn't Naples a crime? Isn't Naples a crime-ridden hellhole?
It is, but it's also where the airport is. That's taking me home tomorrow, and it's also
sure. Okay,
it is a crime-ridden hellhole. So is the city that I'm flying home to, and so is the city that you live in.
Sure, that's all cities at this point.
Yeah, it's all cities.
That's true. But Italian crime seems worse somehow to me.
I mean, there's a criminal element in the streets here that you definitely have to be aware of. But it also is the birthplace of pizza.
That I do like.
Oh yeah, the chain.
Chain state.
Yeah, we ate at this pizza. We ate at a pizza place right before here. We split a margarita. It was $6, and
that's nice. Was it banging?
The oldest pizzeria in the world it's from like the 1800s. It was very bang. It was like, I forgot what it's called. Pizzeria La Michelle, I believe. It's been like blown out from TikTok now.
But it's banging.
Pizzeria da Michelle. Yeah, it's good. It's just a place where it's like we got margarita pizza and marinara pizza and Coke and beer and water.
It's nice. That's how God intended. We didn't even
delicious.
We didn't even get into it with Jamie, but the Coachella lineup was announced yesterday, and it's people are saying, and I quote, "It's a recession indicator that it's coming out so early."
Mm-hmm.
And the rumors are that Saturday headliner Justin Bieber is getting $10 million, which feels crazy.
Does that come as a surprise to anyone, though?
I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I love looking. There's a Pitchfork story today, like, why does the Coachella lineup make me so mad? Which I thought was really funny, but I just don't even understand.
Did they answer?
I mean, sort of. It's just like, because it used to be good and now it's not. That's sort of the the particular complaint with this festival was that it was like cool and sort of like there would be weird surprises that made sense, not Black Flag playing well past their prime and then 15 things I've never heard of, which is usually, I mean, Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber, and Karol G are about as boring as it gets. But if
Yeah.
you got to sell tickets because you're losing money, then I see what you're doing.
And then they were like, actually, yes, we are. That is why we're doing that. I think there are some nice little surprises in here, but yeah, I mean, like the black flag.
Who, fake mink? I know you're a fake mink guy.
No. I don't care what his music sounds like. That hair, you can't get past the hair. But I think chicks want to have sex with him, so happy for him.
Foster the People, one of your favorites. There's a few Jason artists on here. There's a few friends of the show, but I mean, the question is, will you, Los Angeles resident, is there anything you see here worth making the trek down for?
Well, I think because of the person I'm married to, I will have to go for the Strokes.
I was guessing that would be your answer. I would say that's the best.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll just go straight.
Except for
I'll just go straight down and see who I would want to see. I mean, Sabrina Carpenter, whatever. XX, sure. 9 Inch Noise. I'm sure that'll be cool.
Can you explain that to me?
I don't think they've ever played together, but it's 9 Inch Nails and Boys Noise, and Boys Noise is opening for 9 Inch Nails on their tour, and he does like a techno live thing.
Okay,
so
got it.
He's like the youthful even though he's my age, he's brought in the youthful element of kind of the club energy to the 9 Inch Nails concert.
Sure.
That would normally be 52-year-old guys.
I'm all set on that. But that's a cool innovation.
I think it'll be cool. I think it's their way of bridging the gap to make 9 Inch Nails music for younger people. That being said, I was walking through the piazza on the way back to our hotel and saw like a 10-year-old boy playing soccer wearing a 9 Inch Nails shirt. So what the fuck do I know? It would be cool to see Turnstile just in a big festival setting, see what happens. Ethel Cain, she's cool and all, but that
show's pretty good. I've seen Ethel Cain before, and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It'll be maybe a little snoozy for Coachella, depending on what kind of pillies I'm on. Of course, Dijon's having a big year. Maybe he'll bring Justin out. Teddy Swims, nope.
Moby.
Cat's Eye's, they're great, but not for Coachella. Devo is, 74 years old. Sexy Red, hell yeah. Central C, hell no. Even though many women I know in their late 30s and 40s,
Central C is extremely good looking.
To him.
Extremely good looking.
Yeah, he's a really good looking 84-pound guy who looks like a mouse. No Faust for the People. 8.1 Pitchfork. Blood Orange didn't get the best new music. Is 8.1 as high as you can get without getting B&M?
I don't. Yeah, probably.
Must be.
What is? I don't know what levity is. I know what it is as a term. I don't know what it is as an artist. We got Moby.
I don't know either.
We got Moby, one of the greats. Marlon.
I like that Moby's coming back.
Marlon Hofstadt. I don't know which kind of Swedish guy that is. We got Licky Lee. She's got classics. Fake Mink. Gordo just took Drake to the club.
Licky Lee gonna do I Follow Rivers.
That shit bangs.
That's
a
Rivers
festival.
Acoustic.
That's
I
a
Follow
festival.
Rivers.
Yeah, that's a
Nightcore
festival
remix.
You know that the Licky Lee album with the black and white cover is an all timer. If you haven't listened to that, go check it out. It still bangs. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think after that we lose Wednesday. Friends of the show are playing, which is cool.
A lot of people, Fred is excited about Joyce Manor. Groove Armada, sure. Slater, all the Teena'd Up 2C gays are going to be into that. Fleshwater, I've heard, is cool, but I haven't heard them. Have you heard them? They're kind of like post-hardcore. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, you got your Wednesday. You got your, DJ.
I don't know this shit. We got to hurry though, because we got every artist maybe we can skip, but we got Bieber. The Strokes,
well, I'll just we got Bieber, Strokes,
Somber, of course, Interpol, Alex G.
You skipped over Addie Ray, and also Somber's mom looking kind of good. David Byrne,
Somber's mom is bad. Somber's mom is bad. We discovered this today on Instagram. Somber's got a baddie as a mom because she's probably our age.
Yeah, I was gonna say
she's probably younger than us.
Somber just got his learner's permit, so his mom just fucking graduated high school 2 years after I did. Let's see here. Yeah, we got Boys Noise again. Royal Otis. Geese. Sure. Okay. Then the one who Yosuke Yukimatsu. He's like a Japanese guy who plays like Corn on Boiler Room and everyone fucking comes all over the place.
I'm out.
He's got great energy. I think he had like brain cancer and survived it, and now he's like the most energetic DJ of all time. It's a great super story, but it's like
being
this guy
energetic
mixed rock
and
and roll song with dance song. It's fucking holy shit. Green Velvet, yeah, that's cool. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't know any of this. I don't know any of this is. Once we get past the guy you just said, I don't recognize anything.
Yeah,
not that I should. I mean, it's fine. I just am like, I have nothing to say because I don't know. Okay,
we'll move quick into Sunday because Karol G. Obviously, we don't know that at all. Young Thug, do you think something could change between now and April where Young Thug is not playing anymore?
Yeah, he gets shot, but otherwise I think he'll probably make it because of the payday. But
no, I mean, like, will his offer, like, will Golden Voice maybe replace him with somebody else? I mean, because he's a pariah.
No.
He's persona non grata in the community. He'll get booed off of stage, won't he?
Contract is oh yeah, the white people in LA are gonna boo him off stage. It's not like he's going to play in fucking Zone 6 parking lot. Like he's playing at a festival for teenage girls. It'll be fine.
Okay. This ain't Rock the Bell. No, I mean, I was at Coachella last year. Fucking, I'm watching Travis Scott, and like I said, there's a sea of 60,000 Edgars who are gonna steal my catalytic converter. Like it's not Becky at the Reformation party anymore, bro.
Yes, it is.
Cascade, happy for him. No,
yes, it is.
No, it's not. Yeah, boring ass Lofi. That's like
no one's ever heard Lofi's music. No one in history has heard Lofi's music.
Lofi's like young adult fiction, but a band.
No one's ever heard it.
No one's ever heard it. Major Lazer, that's gonna be epic. When they played Get Free as the sun's going down. Oof.
All right.
Old ass. Let's go.
All right, our guest is here. I've had enough of this shit. It's ass.
No, Ben, you have to sit here quietly while we go through the Coachella lineup. Sorry, bro.
All right, Ben Lippett is joining us today over from London. He's got a new book out, but he's also, I didn't realize this about Ben. His book, How I Cook, How I Cook, is out now. Good cover, but the I don't cook, so it was confusing for me. But the hot honey of it all, I didn't know you were a hot honey founder. So we're dealing with Jason, we're dealing with a founder right now. And I want to be very clear that we have to approach him as both a chef and a founder. Let's respect for both of his disciplines. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, and those are just the disciplines that you and I know of. And as we speak to him for the next
he's going to blow our fucking
60 minutes, I think he's going to open his portfolio to reveal a few sub-chapters that we weren't familiar with. So let's give Ben a call and see what he thinks about the new lineup of Black Flag. Ben, I was apologizing to you in the intro because we're traveling and I haven't had a chance to really prepare much of a notes or questions.
Yeah.
I know that you sent me your cookbook, but I've been gone for the last month, so I haven't had a chance to dog ear the pages. So I know that you're a listener of the podcast, so we're just gonna do.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll be a Chris and Jason episode with Ben as well. So don't think of it as an interview. We want you to jump in and just share your thoughts as we go along, just the three of us. Okay.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have read your book anyway because cookbooks it's like.
I know. I feel
it's gibberish.
I think of the two of you, I'm definitely more kind of leaning to one side. Let's say that. Well, I only sent it to Jason. I didn't.
Oh, okay, bitch. All right, let's see. No, I'm just kidding. I respect that, and I think it's a smart decision. You only have so many copies. You got to kind of meter them out to those who matter, who will actually look at it.
Yeah.
The pecking order exists.
Mm-hmm.
Do I send my cookbook to the guy who loves cooking and has talked about it for years, or the person who actively hates it? It's not really a tough decision.
Look, I don't actively.
But Chris is a real eater.
I'm a real eater. I don't actively hate it. I just find cookbooks. I like the way they look in a kitchen. I will say that. I think it's nice to have a wide array, but if you don't use them, that would be stolen valor, and I can't be a part of that.
I think it's so fascinating how much cookbooks are now like objects. Like you say, how they look in a kitchen is now getting up there with one of the most important things, because not only is it going to like jump off the shelf, but I mean, people are obsessed with how they look on their coffee table or in their kitchen. And like when we were doing the cover, I remember that was a heavy conversation in the room.
Sure. Like, like what can we do to make this the most desirable for someone who doesn't even cook to want this as an object in their home?
More important than the recipes inside.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, fuck the food. Just how does it look?
Well, I mean, cookbooks are often, obviously they're often sold towards the end of the year. They're given as gifts around Christmas time. Other than a super fan of something, you usually receive them or give them as gifts. And, the chances of you popping it open and cooking every recipe in it, very low. The chances of it looking handsome on your coffee table or on your shelf, and that's about it. Maybe getting you laid, much higher. So I get it. So you're really just selling a thick, $40 piece of art that goes on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I will be thrilled if the book gets anyone laid. I'll be punching the air. That wasn't a conversation in the room.
Other than you,
Maybe
Ben.
it should have been.
Other than you.
Other than me, obviously.
Other than you.
I'm very recently married, so I mean, I'm hopefully.
You put this book out a little late then, I guess, big dog. But, we got time.
Little late.
Got time.
Yeah, I guess if you're like at a bar and you meet a girl and you're like, yeah, what do you do? Oh, I'm a writer. Oh, really? What do you do? I wrote a cookbook. It's 101 new ways to use hot honey. And, you're like, oh, okay.
It's funny, because you put author on the top of all of these things you do, where you like, Instagram is like, oh, author, and then they ask you, and I feel like cookbook author doesn't have quite the same juice as kind of novel. Or
well, I mean, I would say that, except that everybody I know tells me that cookbooks are the only books that actually sell.
Yeah.
So and the people I know that write them are the ones that get the biggest advances for books across the board.
Doesn't have as much juice, but it's got more bread. You smell me, Ben?
It does.
And, it's so crazy. I was chatting to my editor today, and she told me that Jamie Oliver, friend of the show, Jamie Oliver.
Of course, yes.
He's just released the book this week. I think it's called Cook Yourself Healthy. He has sold, it wasn't even published yet, he sold 70,000 copies of that book.
Pre-sale?
Pre-sale. I had to stare at the screen for like a good 30 seconds. It's like,
you're like calculating the numbers.
When we had him on, I guess it was around a year ago, I learned that he is the, second to J.K. Rowling, the second most selling British author of all time.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I forgot he told us that.
I mean, it's no mean feat. I mean, it's serious business. I mean, yeah, like you say, selling any book is incredibly difficult. It's only 70,000. It's because everyone, it's called Cook Yourself Healthy. People are just panicking. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very dance yourself clean. Sorry for interrupting, Chris.
I was talking about Jamie Oliver the other night. What is your take on him as a local? Was that something you were raised on, or was this just in the background?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, Jamie's I think it's fair to say that Jamie has done more for food culture in this country than almost anyone else.
Yeah.
He's such a kind of cornerstone of food I was going to say the industry, but just the way that people eat now, and like, we all use olive oil and kind of, I suppose it's kind of a toss up between him and Ottolenghi, Yotam Ottolenghi.
Yeah, I would.
Those two.
I've never been to a Jamie Oliver restaurant, but I know there are several. Are any of them any good still?
Well, there's a kind of it's a checkered past for Jamie in that side of things. The kind of cursed restaurant chain Jamie's Italian famously went down in flames. Like, I can't remember how many years ago, but really not. He didn't have a good time there. He's known for his cookbooks. Sells a lot of cookbooks. Don't know how many checks he's cashing off the back of the restaurant.
But I thought he might have his own, not Ottolenghi, but like there's one that's still really good that was maybe like the original or in the early days that has stuck around. But it sounds like he went for a different method, a different road.
I think so. You got to pick your battles, and I think he was losing that one. I think he has maybe one or two left. and I have, ashamed to admit, I've been to neither.
So do you rank Gordon Ramsay in there at all? Or
That was my question.
because I don't think he's really done much for the food community in London. I think he's done much more for the yelling community and the mental and physical abuse community.
Yeah, he's really flying the flag for the kind of the mental torture of working in a kitchen. I mean, again, I
Obviously his restaurants are shit.
no comment. Never eaten one. I mean, do you know what I see? I see almost every week and popping up with a new. He has one literally called Plain Food that exists at an airport, but plain spell aeroplane, not plane.
I like that.
That's cool. Sorry, I like it.
No, Chris. He also
what's not to like? That's funny.
I wonder what defines the restaurant? Like, I wonder what's the shout line of plain food, because you're not actually on the plane.
It's a great point. It is confusing as a concept, but I think maybe it's just a classic British play on words. It's a little something fun.
It's a classic British pun. I think he also just did a massive campaign with Burger King. I don't know whether this was transatlantic, but he's the face of the new Wagyu burger at Burger King, which is just crazy. I mean, I kind of rate it. I kind of think it's very cool that he's doing it, because the check would have been insane.
I mean, it's cool because you get a check to endorse something that you never have to eat or cook, and that your job is eating and cooking. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he'll never, ever, ever touch one of those burgers in his life.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but he has that delivery down to where what he's saying and how he says it, most people will be like, yeah, okay. Like when he's on the commercial or the advert, I've never seen it, but I'm assuming he's explaining what the burger is and how he's quote unquote made it. And he's like, bun here, yeah.
It's
proper beef patty, salted.
It's kind of remarkable how we all respond to that kind of hyper aggressive delivery that he's made his own, and kind of in a kind of Stockholm syndrome way that we've just grown to kind of trust this terrible man.
He tells me what I know, and I agree.
Yeah,
I had the last TV I had, this cursed Samsung frame TV that's been a character on this show. You'd turn it on and it would always be playing the same thing. And for a long time, it was SpongeBob SquarePants. And then it switched over to Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. And I have to say, the jarring effect of turning on your TV any time of day and hearing that guy yelling I have that syndrome. I've been personally affected. It's like I worked in the kitchen myself. Is how it feels.
Yeah,
you've
been through the Ramsey ringer.
Yeah, I've been through the Ramsey ringer.
I think it's probably worth mentioning, if you haven't. I mean, I'm assuming the one that was on your screen was the US edition of that show.
Yes. What do you think the major differentiators are between the versions?
Well, the UK one is I'd say like 10 times better. It's so funny. It's one of the funniest television productions of all time. I think actually they may have peaked at episode 1. Episode 1 is absolute solid gold.
He probably stabbed someone in the first episode,
Well, I feel like he's still learning this he's still figuring out this character that he builds over the next decade or so.
Yeah.
But it is very much a kind of fly on the wall look inside Ramsey at his, fieriest, just like roasting people who have no idea what they're doing. But I think the British version is I'd say it's just like way more kind of candid. But I think the kind of legacy of that show is interesting because he basically marched around the country, destroying already failing businesses one at a time.
Sure.
Yeah, not a single one of them lasted another kind of 3 months.
Yeah, the 11 months, if you like. I mean, I would watch it when I lived with Andre, 15 years ago, and we would get stoned, and it would come on TV, and we could not stop laughing because, like you said, you'll go to some seaside town, and find a restaurant that's open, 3 months out of the year. And it nobody cares, and he just goes in and he's fat shaming everyone, just dumping all of their food on the ground, making every employee cry.
It's so sick.
It's so good.
But he would his words would cut out whenever there'd be a fat guy, and he would always say, "All right, big boy, it would just kill me every time when he calls that fat guy big boy.
It's great stuff, and it's like every single place that he visits is just so close to death that it's just like Ramsey. he's kind of like the Grim Reaper. Yeah. What are we doing?
Well, we have a show here that I don't think you guys have a version of Bar Rescue, which is sort of a similar concept, but with this guy named John Taffer, who is. He sort of looks like I don't even know, Jason. He looks like he could own a casino, but also be a cop.
Well, Ben, you know the guy who goes Bosch, the Bosch guy?
There's two of those, Jason. We have two Bosch men.
The big bald.
The big fat Bosch guy.
The guy who looks like he's gonna die in the next 48 hours. The bar rescue guy. He looks like a thinner version of that guy, but still fat.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think no Taffer's not fat. He's big boned. He's like a big guy, but I think Taffer might be like 6'5" and like kind of big. Okay. I don't think of him as fat.
Okay.
What's Taffer's story?
I think he was like a guy who owned bars and like clubs, and so he goes to like it's so similar. He goes to like a dying bar in Wichita that has like a pool table in the back and is like, you know what? We're going to turn this into a salsa dancing lounge that's open all 7 days a week. And they flip it, and he brings he brings an expert in from Vegas. He brings a cocktail expert. He brings a food expert. And it's the same kind of thing. He's like, you fucking dumb pig. Why can't you make this work? And then they open it, and then oftentimes, which I don't know why they show this because it's a testament to their work, but after the episode's over, it'll flash like to a dramatic black and white screen with text and just says, John's Salsa Tavern closed after 6 weeks. And it's just like, yeah, no shit. Like, of course it closed.
No shit.
Because he'll be like, all right, take me to your ice machine. And he like hits it with like a black light thing. And he's like, yeah, there's mold in there. And the owner's like, yeah, I'm like $10,000 in the hole every day.
10,000? No, it's like I'm losing $10,000 a day, and he's like, the microwave has rat poop. It's like, dude, it's bad. It's hurt.
And then like, all right, one of my security guards, they found a gun on him, and I think he's gonna go to jail.
It's very, very Ramsey coded. I think
very, very. He paved the way.
Was it very successful? Was it a successful show?
Yes, yeah, very. It's still on today. They're making new episodes as we speak. Yeah,
because I feel like not many people can do what Ramsey does quite like him. So you found your own, you forged your own Ramsey. That's good.
Well, I think Taffer has that sort of no nonsense vibe, but it comes off more like he's like a corrections officer. Like I was saying earlier, he feels like he worked in a different. Because working in bars is more corrections office than working in restaurants, I think, if I have to make a choice.
And he helps them with like the business side of it and like the margins and the ordering and blah, blah, blah. Whereas Ramsey would go in and be like, that's not how you make fettuccine. This is how you make fettuccine. And then the line cooks are like, all right, cool. So our business is going to succeed now?
My question for you, Ben, and my biggest Ramsey takeaway is his love for beef Wellington, a dish that I've never seen served or presented as an option in my entire life. Is beef Wellington actually available where you live in the way that he makes it out to be?
No, absolutely not. No way. Beef Wellington is an incredibly rare thing to come across on a menu, and if you do come across it, you have to be very careful about where you order it.
Okay,
I would say probably 70% of this great nation's pubs serve very bad food, and I think often you'll find a beef Wellington on a menu in a place. If you're going to get that dish, right, get it somewhere where it's a little bit too expensive,
sure,
and it's going to be an absolute home run because it's a pretty hard thing to pull off.
I don't know anything, and I could look at that and be like, damn, that looks hard. That looks like a lot of elements have to come together to make that work, and most people cannot do that, especially not this person that's worked as a line cook for a year. Mm-hmm. It seems like a big step.
It's a huge step.
I think everyone gets lucky with one time. Like you'll like 1 in 10 people will just make it for the first time and it comes out perfectly, and then never again can you do it. Have you ever made one, Ben, that you're satisfied with, that you would hang your hat on?
I've made a few, but I'd say I don't know whether the juice is worth the squeeze because it's a pretty high stakes thing to make. Like it takes fucking forever, and it also
It's expensive.
everything involved is pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive, and if you drop the ball on it, then, and everyone kind of focuses on this big reveal moment where you cut into it and you move it aside, and then everyone you're cooking for, because if you're going to make that, it's probably for like 10 people, and they're all waiting. They're like, oh, come over, I'm making Wellington. So then the bar is set exceptionally
You're like,
high.
all right, this guy spent $400 of his own money and spent the last 48 hours making this dish for me. If he cuts into it and it's not perfectly pink in the center, I am walking out of here.
I'm gonna take I would, Ben, if I was at your house and you made me a beef Wellington that wasn't up to standard, I would take it over in the pan and put it in the trash, Ramsey style. Just kind of let's just
Smash the plate.
Yeah, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's do it old school. Stop.
Roll.
Jason, have you ever tried?
I have tried, yeah. I've tried it a couple of times, and it is nice, but it also feels, it's like a little bit of a trick, like, yeah, it's roast. It's a roast beef with a pastry shell on it and some mushrooms inside.
But I was gonna ask. That was my final question. When it is done successfully, is it delicious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's every single element of it is great. I mean, it is very. It's very, very rich. I mean, it's not something. I'm not a big fan of the Sunday roast, which I'm sure you've heard of, which is a very important cultural meal.
That makes two of us. That makes two of us, brother. Miss me with the roast,
brother. Fuck the roast. It's honestly, it's like one of the most kind of homogeneously ruined meals. Everything tastes like gravy. There's too much on the plate. It's not for me. But then again, that's very controversial. All of your British listeners are very unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on your Instagram and you're making a fig leaf ice cream at home, so they're calling you a homo anyway.
Well,
you're not beating the charges with that mustache and the fig leaves, but I think that
But I do want to ask you about that, because the fig, it's a seasonal item that everyone enjoys. It's a beautiful piece of fruit. It's only around for a short amount of time. You put it on a bread or maybe a pizza or what, do some cool stuff with it, gelato. Because of the global warming that you were talking about earlier, I feel like the figs season is much shorter, or like they'll just die and shrivel up before you can eat them. So the fig leaf, a very fragrant leaf that people use for, scents and wrapping, things like that. They're grinding it down and making milks, latte, like steeping it like tea.
Milk.
And then Ben, you're doing they'll do like fig leaf lattes, where they take the almond milk and then steep the fig leaf in it.
They don't have that
subtle scent
at his blank street.
I was going to say,
they don't have that yet.
You guys don't even have ice in London, so we're a long ways away from getting the fig.
Cold brew. What the fuck do you mean then?
What do you mean, mate?
Cold brew. They make one cold brew a day, and if you go in after 9 a.m., they're like, "Oh, we're sold out. We're sold out. Man. We only made one cup."
No fig leaf, flat white.
So I want to know how the fig leaf experimentation is going.
It's going very, very well. I think it's kind of a hangover from my restaurant days. I mean, it is a undeniably delicious thing to eat. If anything, God, it's so corny, but it's kind of better than the fruit. I mean, I love it. I think it's so nice.
Oh,
they're everywhere. They're all over town. They're like hanging over walls. Walk down the street, fig tree.
Yeah,
rip them, go,
no, it's
go
true.
mad.
They're hanging.
Free.
They're hanging over the fucking walls. They're everywhere I look.
Yeah.
I can't avoid figs.
It doesn't matter if they're covered in squirrel feces and etc. Just give them a good rinse off, and you're good.
Listen, if you go to the farmer's market there on a Saturday and you buy carrots covered in shit, I mean, what's the difference?
So hold on. So you guys have farmers markets in the UK, just to be clear.
We do, but I'd say, especially I live in London, and I think there's a handful of markets around me, but it's funny because it's usually just a kind of a trailer with a guy making coffee, a bakery that's just selling. It's like they're never selling vegetables ever, so it's kind of like a little bit fruitless.
Well, yeah,
now,
it's Europe.
I think increasingly, there's like vintage clothing stalls at the farmers market. With like just the worst.
My two favorite smells are fresh vegetables and vintage clothing, kind of rammed up against each other. That's my number one.
We only got one of those.
Okay? So next question is the farmers market a scene, or is it strictly for buying supplies? Is it like LA where everybody puts on their best outfits and their coolest tote bags?
Yeah, I definitely say that the kind of farmers market is it's definitely kind of a posturing space. You go, there's there's a lot of prams. I'd say, well, I think there's definitely a kind of an age gap between who goes to the farmers market, and so I live near a place called Peckham, and there's a Peckham car boot.
Okay.
So do you know what car boot is?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like people show up with their old stuff and try and sell it to other people for like £1. It's crazy business. But then again, the Peckham one is famous because a lot of people go with these kind of like grailed items, and you'll have to go with like hundreds of pounds in cash to buy like old designer stuff. And
but you can find something good though at the Peckham boot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a bit of a needle in the haystack situation, but I mean, there's people who go. It's every other Sunday, I think, and it's people think more about what they're gonna wear to the boot than what they're gonna buy.
So where do you go buy your beautiful produce for your beautiful recipe videos?
I live in a nice, it's a little sleepy corner of London called Nunhead. And I'm lucky to have. There's some
hold on. You said
that's what Chris gets every night.
Yeah, you said
none, comma head.
Nunhead, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nunhead.
I live in Nunhead. I can't get Nunhead. That's crazy, bro.
Well, that's very Atlantean. Bankhead.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hilton
as hell.
Head, Nunhead. Okay, so when you need to go, do you go to the Nunhead Whole Foods when you need to get your Jerusalem artichokes or your French radishes?
If only. We've got a lovely little grocer. It's very old fashioned. We've got a butcher, a fishmonger, a grocer. We've got a Tesco's.
Oh, so you're shopping like the French. You're going to get all of your ingredients from the specialist,
yeah,
and then in the Tesco for any little bad boy treats, biscuits, the
Water,
yeah,
Lou roll,
yeah. There's a very cool shop in London, which is it's called Nisa Local, and Nisa is a kind of chain of convenience stores. But this shop is absolutely bonkers because it not only does it's like kind of almost hyper seasonal, like it'll sell like a girole or a really nice black frig from France, but it also sells like poppers and zins and shit.
Okay.
It kind of sells everything and anything that you need. Like it'll sell you a paper clip.
Inside me, there are two beasts type vibe is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's the angel and the devil on the shoulder.
That's cool.
So you can find your leeks and your bluefin tuna and your Kewpie and everything there.
Yeah, you bet. Nisa's got you covered. Whatever you need.
I bought a Kewpie in Nunhead. Sounds like a good. That's a good song title, Jason.
Yeah, I never really put Kewpie together as being a quarter pound.
Quarter pound. Sorry, I have a different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of
actually, I'm talking about Kewpie, the Japanese mayonnaise, Kewpie. I started feeling in the last year that I think we're gonna have the pendulum is gonna swing away from Kewpie. I think it was overused, too powerful, and people abused it. And I think it's going to swing back to regular old mayonnaise. What do you think?
I mean, sure. I mean, potentially. It did feel like it was on. People were kind of naming it on menus for a while. Like it was kind of a brand to stand behind, Kewpie.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be kind of fading into the hedge.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't eat mayonnaise because I'm a freak. But does it taste significantly different, or is the brand just that much cuter?
There's a big difference.
It's pretty different. It's pretty sweet. I think it has a kind of sweet and sour quality that other I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but I think that's what I kind of associate it with.
Yeah, it's mayonnaise, but it's turned up all the flavors, so it has more vinegar, more acid, more sugar. But the main differential is it has MSG added to it.
Oh, okay. So
that's the big kicker. But I think it'll end up being, I think the way that olive oil, Jamie Oliver's olive oil is a thing. And now we have the finishing oil as well. Like that's the olive oil for cooking. And that's the olive oil for drizzling. The sizzling and drizzling. That's the mayonnaise for making your tuna salad. And this is the mayonnaise for just squirting a little zigzag on top of your...
Let me say something right now about this olive oil bullshit. Because I want to be real clear. If you're cooking at home and you're not one of the two guys I'm on this Zoom with right now, you probably don't need two different olive oils for what you're doing. Let me be very clear. Let me tell you something. if you got bread, you got the expensive olive oil, use it on everything like a fucking grown up. And if you don't got bread, get the the knockoff squeeze bottle and use it on everything. Stop this. Stop.
There's a
It's
difference,
crazy.
Chris. I hate to do this.
I'm not saying there's not a difference. I'm saying that as usual, most people cannot tell the difference, but they want you to think they can. That's all I'm saying.
I'm kind of with you, Chris. Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. I use basically the same olive oil for almost everything. There's a kind of myth that you can't cook with it, which I think is absolute rubbish. I'm kind of with you, man. Well, I also think that we're now seeing, because we're obviously 6 months behind everything that the States are up to. We've now finally got squeeze bottle olive oil. And
congratulations!
First it was but it is a straight rip off of, I can't remember what the brand's called that you guys have, but it's
we don't say it on this show because I'm joking. It's called Grazia.
No, it's called Graza.
Graza.
Oh, Graza. My bad.
Okay.
See.
Okay, yeah.
That's how much respect. I have a bottle of it in my kitchen. I'm not going to front, but I don't respect
it.
And
Ben, they have one to drizzle and one to sizzle.
That's it. Yeah.
Because like you said, there is a myth that you should never cook with olive oil, and I think you can cook with certain olive oils. Some are more regular in process. Some are special and fragrant, and adding heat to them will destroy it, as well as the delicate fresh ones have a lower smoke point.
I believe all of that, but Graza offering 2 is the perfect example of a trick, like to get consumers to spend more money, which is fine. That's what they should be doing. That's their business.
They're doing a great job.
But if you're using Graza to finish, then you don't know what finishing is, bro. Open that third eye. That ain't. That's what I'm saying, bro. I need some shit from Shorty's Greek family's farm to finish with. I ain't finishing with some shit from the grocery store.
I need Eddie Wong Shorty olive oil. I need it to come to my house in an emptied out 5-gallon, Arrowhead water jug.
Our boy from Copenhagen with the Psych olive oil, like the one that comes in the bag. Have you seen that? It's like have you seen this?
Oh yeah.
It's cool. I mean, the distribution is cool, but I just don't. All this shit feels like a scam to take money out of our pockets, and I'm fine with that. I just want to be clear that is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all. I mean, it's delicious, and you can. There are big differences from like source to source, like Italian and Greek, and I really like Spanish olive oil is delicious. But I think for the kind of everyday cook on a Wednesday night cooking dinner, like don't sweat it.
But if I'm coming over with a fresh Jolene baguette and you want to kind of stunt, on me, you got some olive oil in the cellar that you can pull out and be like, this is for you and all your haters to kind of dip in.
I'm opening the 17 Lippett Reserva.
Everyone and their nan seems to be starting an olive oil business at the moment. I mean, somebody came around to mine the other day, a friend of mine, and dropped off their dad's brother's cousin has got a small holding in Greece, and I've just decided to start up this little olive oil brand. I mean, listen. I'm sure it's very delicious. I'm just very delicious, but it is maybe, I mean, even more so than hot honey, maybe one of the most crowded markets on planet Earth.
I'll say this about your little hot honey business, though. I feel like it probably took a long time to come to the UK. You were smart and kind of got on the bandwagon.
Well, I lived in New York. In 2015. I lived in New York for a year. I was out there studying, and I had it for the first time, hot honey, at a place in Crown Heights. And I ordered this pizza that landed on the table, and they just like popped a little pot of honey next to it, and I just dumped that on the pizza. I was like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And I tried it, and I was like, it's pretty good. And then I got back to the UK, and nobody was doing it. Nobody. But then I worked in restaurants for ages. Well, I worked in restaurants for ages and didn't have time to do anything about it. I quit, and then we started, Dr. Stings. Yeah,
Dr. Stings is a good name. I want to give you props up front for that. I like that a lot.
The sting of the bee and the sting of the heat. It's smart.
Yeah, you got it.
It's a double entendre. But is Dr. Stings, like, how are we doing? Because it's hard to have a CPG brand, even with a profile like yours.
Walk us through a P&L, Ben.
Being a small business owner, it's tough.
It's tough. I mean, it's fun. I do it with my mate Jamie, and I run it together. And we've run it for a few years now. It's funny because it's about to take a bit of a turn because we've got a big rebrand on the way. I think it's launching in a couple of weeks. But it was always like something on the side that we did. We never relied on it financially, so it's always just kind of like ticking over in the back,
Smart.
back burner stuff.
Smart.
And now the book is
That's
done.
like that's the how long gone approach. And now look at us. See,
just let it.
You can
eventually
Let it marinate in the back. See what happens. I mean, now the book's done, and I've got a bit more time. We're giving it a bit more attention, so hopefully we sell some more.
Is it really difficult to get stuff like that in retailers in the UK, or because in America that's usually a challenge? Like the mom and pops, you can walk in and kind of sell them on it, but if you want to get into whatever, Whole Foods or the equivalent, I'm sure it takes a little more time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, the kind of vetting process that's the hardest thing. You got to you send them all your accounts, you send them your entire life story, basically. And I think, it's not what it used to be, or it's maybe not quite the love story that everyone tells, because I think the margins just get like razor thin. So Jamie and I are really, we're kind of focusing on B2C and just like getting it on digital marketing and selling straight to the customer, because then you don't have to worry about any of that, because that's kind of what we're good at, Yeah. I mean, I think that's where we can win. Yeah.
That's smart. I'm a sucker and love being able to attach my name to failing establishment kind of businesses. So I don't know if I could resist the pull of a large chain grocer.
I mean, hey, we'll see. I mean, we just got the book into Sainsbury's.
Oof.
So we'll see what doors that opens.
Mate, they sell books there?
Yeah, man. I mean, actually, supermarket shift are like kind of Jamie 70K? He's going to sell a hell of a lot more in Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Waitrose, and they sell books.
I did not know that, because Jason, Whole Foods doesn't sell books, do they? I know they have a few magazines still at the checkout, but they don't.
I think some of them might have a little. They might have a few experimental.
Well, I know that Kroger and Publix do not, and you're talking about like that level of grocery store right now. Ben.
Yeah.
But I think now that Amazon bought it, Amazon originally a bookstore, I think they use it. They'll like play around as a brick and mortar space. Take Barnes and Noble down.
So you got the book into Sainsbury's. Was that that was on the target list from you and your publisher? Like, we got to get it in here.
Well, it's funny. I mean, it's not something that I've taken a bit of a backseat as far as the kind of sales side of the book goes. I mean, obviously I shout about it and talk about it as much as possible, try to sell it. But as far as the strategy of where it goes, where it lands, I mean, I kind of let them do the thing. It's HarperCollins, and they're they know their onions, as they say. So I kind of let them crack on with it. I mean, it's nice to pop into a Sainsbury's and see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all of your friends' parents will send you a photo on WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
don't you buy it instead of send me a photo, Grandma? What did you did you go buy? Sometimes it's, at least in the music business back in my day, it was good luck to go buy a copy on release day. Go to the record store. Plunk down your 20 for the CD. Did you buy your book for good luck, or you?
Yeah, I actually placed an order on Amazon like 6 months ago for my book. So that arrived. That arrived on publication day, which was actually no, it came like 2 days later. But I did go and buy one. And what was a very cool experience actually is that there's a great little bookshop in Camberwell called La La Books. And I walked in, and it was in the window, and I walked in, and as I walked in, somebody was at the checkout buying the book.
Oh, that's great.
That was a really cool moment. And my wife was like, go say hello. But it's a very, very, very small little bookshop. And I thought, I don't know, I kind of clammed up. I was like, I can't do it. I don't want to go make a scene.
Well, look, it's both cool and obnoxious to walk up to someone buying your book and be like, oh, do you want me to sign that for you? It is. I see both sides.
Yeah, it felt very wrong.
But you think, all right, so people are finding you and on Instagram, and then they are, because of the power of the cookbook, they're going to buy it. That's simply what the approach, correct?
I mean, I guess that's the funnel. I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, increasing this idea, like short form content, TikTok, wherever YouTube, whatever, the content is very rarely the last stop on the train. Like, you're usually getting funneled somewhere.
Sure.
And I think that, I mean, it's nice because I've been writing a Substack for a few years, and it was that of the same name, and now it's a kind of physical product.
But you got the book deal because of the Substack and the Instagram, is fair? Yeah.
And I kind of was road testing the idea of the book on the Substack, And it's kind of a proof of concept. I just took it to publishers and was like, look, this works. People are into this.
I like that. Ben said, I'm getting paid while I ideate. You know what I'm saying? We don't work for free.
Yeah, but Ben's doing the same thing that everyone tells everyone to do, but Ben is just one of the people who actually did it.
Yeah, exactly. No, actually
every
worked.
week, baby.
Because everyone is like, I mean, even I was like, oh yeah, I'll just write a recipe every week on Substack. You get paid, and then a year later, the book is done.
Jason,
and that was 2 years ago. Haven't done it.
I remember you launching your Substack. I'm a long time listener of this podcast, and I remember you launching that Substack and getting on it and reading. You did a couple of posts. They were good. I always liked that you had a similar strategy to me insofar as that you wrote about music alongside your food output, which I enjoyed. That was cool.
His two loves, besides obviously the art form of podcasting, but
yes.
I mean, music and food are more easily paired.
Yeah, I'd say so.
True. Unfortunately, the art of podcasting took too much time, but I'm more than happy. I mean, I love to pod. It's all good, but I'll write something again one day. Who even knows?
I mean, I do think that like at this point, the only reason anybody's doing anything, giving you money to do anything, is because you have a proven audience. Is really all. Like the skill matters, but the audience matters more. Which when you have something like you've done, it's pretty clear that there's an audience that wants something from you.
Yeah. No one's going to line them up if the product is shit, but
of course. But I'm saying getting the foot in the door is about sort of having an audience.
Yeah, I think getting the foot in the door, but then also like making sure that once your foot's in the door, the next step you make is like as effective as possible. And also that the people who like are paying attention are like, wow, this guy's, proper or like serious or doing good stuff. Or the people who buy it and read it are into it and will buy another one. And they'll listen again.
Yeah.
So what restaurants did you work in? Because I know a lot of bozos in your position that never set foot in a goddamn kitchen, and it's nice to have a guy that's got some cuts on his hands.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, I actually started in that year I was in New York. I used to work at a place called Donna, which was on Broadway, right down by the Williamsburg Bridge. That was kind of my first, I'd say, kind of proper cooking job, like line cook gig.
Okay.
It's since closed.
How much coke were you doing?
My mum will probably listen to this, so no comment.
What do you mean coke? I don't know what that is.
I then returned to the UK. It's good. I've traveled a lot with it. I lived in Melbourne for a while. I was in Australia. Big fan of that country. I love it so much.
Great food city. One of the best food cities in the world.
One of the best in the world. Also, I mean, Australia as a country is kind of like deeply under-celebrated place. I think it's just brilliant. It's a beautiful place.
We agree. We agree here on How Long Gone. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, my wife and I try and get over there. I mean, every other year, if not trying to. She works in music, so it's kind of a good kind of 1-2 if we go and I can kind of do something with a restaurant, or she'll go out there for a festival or a conference or something. So we do manage to get out there a lot, which is great. But my last kind of proper cooking job was at a place in Notting Hill in London called Orisay with a guy called Jackson Boxer.
Oh, I've eaten there before. Great restaurant.
What's it called again? Sorry.
It's called Orisay. It's named after an island, a Scottish island.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. I should probably mention that it is now since changed to. It's called Dove. He had to change the restaurant basically because it was a seafood restaurant. Hence the name. A lot of great fish comes from that part of the world. And fish is now it's unbelievably expensive to put on a plate. So he had to shift the business because the menu was getting crazy expensive. So it's now called Dove.
I thought the whole point of Notting Hill was people got money for that. What do you mean?
Dude, I mean, Turbo's never been pricier. They ain't got that much money. Hey, it's England after all. We're not in the States.
I ate there years and years ago, and it was good. And I had lunch there with my friend Callum, who lived in the neighborhood at the time. I hadn't thought about that place in a long time.
I may well have cooked you lunch, Chris.
Yeah, honestly, but that's owned by a chef that's pretty known, correct?
Yeah. It's called Jackson Boxer. He's had a very successful career in London. He's had heaps of places. His other place is called Brunswick House, which is in a kind of antique shop in Vauxhall. I mean, which is amazing.
Like a Morrissey lyric right there.
That sounded made up.
But it's funny. I mean, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it's funny too because it's kind of this kind of last. Vauxhall's a really interesting neighborhood because I mean, it is just it's this last bastion of kind of old London, surrounded by all of these huge kind of hulking glass buildings. Have you seen the picture of the swimming pool that's suspended between two high rises in London?
Shit, no, is that there?
Yeah, yeah, they've got a floating. They call it the Sky Pool, and it runs between two of these giant kind of apartment complexes. That's in the same neighborhood as the restaurant and the antiques shop. So it's a broad church. But yeah, Jackson's brilliant. He's got a very, 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 very good food brain. Like the way that he writes a menu is pretty unique. Good guy to work for.
What was your station? Where did you?
Well, I mean, it was just, I was on the grill. I mean, it was a small kitchen. So I mean, we had pass. So somebody was running the kitchen basically. Pass, and then pastry. They did like bread and snacks and starters and stuff, and then grill. And it was tough because I'd have most of the menu would come from my section, so it was pretty punishing, but it was fun. I mean, it did break me. I quit the industry up, but it was fun.
It was great until I lost my mind and had to quit, but it was awesome.
How fast does a 4-hour period go by when you're just in the weeds on the grill?
Not as fast as you think, Jason. I mean, I feel like it. Well, not as fast as you want.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough. Well, I think crucially, I lived a long, long way away from the restaurant, and I used to ride a bicycle because I just moved to London when I got this job, and I'd get on my bike in the morning and ride at like 7 or 6:30 and ride 10 miles to the restaurant across like I'm literally like I was in southeast London, the restaurant is in northwest London. I would ride my bike all the way there, do a 15-16 hour shift, and then cycle home. And I did that for a year, and then I mean I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Obviously I quit at the end of it.
How romantic.
That is impressive commitment though. That's like pretty crazy.
I've never been fitter in my life, I don't think.
Was it a fixed gear bike? Hopefully.
Hell no. Had gears, baby.
Okay, that's good.
Damn, that's
good.
Impressive.
Okay, I want to talk about recipe writing.
Okay.
When on the average, how many times do you have to test a recipe before you feel that it's ready to be printed in a book?
The book's are different because I write every Friday for the Substack, and that's just tested by me. I don't get anyone else to test that. But the book was a different beast. Like I kind of shopped the recipes around different testers, and also of different kind of calibers, I suppose. Like some testers are like actual kind of chefs, right? And they're like very, very good at cooking, and they're like pick apart the technical aspects of things. And then you might send another recipe to somebody who, like a friend or somebody who isn't a chef, who's going to read it like your audience will. And they're going to be like, I don't understand what laminate means, or what do you mean I need to, make a cartouche,
right.
blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, but it really depends. It depends on the recipe. If you're going to make, there's a recipe in the book for a brown sugar tart. That's like it's quite a challenging recipe. That went through quite a lot of tests. But then again, there's one that for a green salad. I can test that. I know it works. I think horses for courses.
Horses for courses, of course. Okay, so I'm sure you had some recipes where you nailed it first try and said, all right, off to the presses. But if you had to put a number on average from the green salad to the brown sugar tart, how many times did you go over it before it was stamped approval?
Probably 3, an average of 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's 100 almost 120 recipes in the book.
Okay.
So it's a good chunk of cooking. And like when you write a recipe book, I mean, it's a hell of a lot of cooking.
Yeah. The house gets transformed.
Were you doing it at home, or did you have a place you were going?
I did it across. So I thought it'd be a good idea I live in a flat in London, and I thought it'd be a good idea towards the last 3 months of my writing window, to renovate my kitchen. So I then, I know it's absolutely cursed behavior. And then I actually was kind of running around London testing in different people's kitchens. I ended up moving home for a while to my folks' place on the south coast.
Okay, so it got bad. Got it.
It did get pretty bad with the actual writing portion of it. All the recipes were done, but there's quite a lot of words in this book around kind of technique and the kind of hows and whys of what you're doing. That's, I think, what sets it apart. And that all took place in one chair in Portsmouth, where I'm from.
That's pretty romantic, though. That's this all sounds pretty.
But it's
besides the renovation,
hey,
that's
man,
your bad.
the renovation was a fucking nightmare. But I think the writing a cookbook is a very romantic thing to do, and not many people get to do it.
Mm.
So I was, I'm very pleased to have done it, and I'm looking forward to you seeing it, Jason. I hope you like it.
I hope I do too. I'm sure I will.
He won't. But I mean, it's not because he likes you, but it's just based on his track record.
I have some questions, just to peek around there, see how gauge my interest level.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I was actually thinking about this earlier today when I was walking around Naples about, brain rot and slop and the end of innovation and how we don't, nothing, we just duplicate fashion and music and art and film and television and remake everything. How often have you found yourself, or are there any recipes in the book where you feel like you have invented something? And how many of them are, your version of this?
Well, I think that's a good question. I think there's a good chunk of kind of like the classics in the book, because I think, I mean, my cooking certainly is not out there to reinvent any wheels. I think it's all of the great flavor combinations have already been found. I'm not about kind of like being this groundbreaking cook. I think it's really, for me, about getting people to understand the hows and whys and like how you like cook properly at home. And it's not about using a fucking air fryer or like cutting corners but as far as kind of like original ideas, I like to think there's a good chunk of them in there. I mean, there's a recipe for it's called peppered clam frites. Basically like mule frite, but you make a kind of steak sauce, like an poivre sauce, and you cook clams in it and then dump it over fries. It's delicious. And I suppose different things like that, but I mean, I'm not out here kind of breaking like new ground culinarily. It's more just kind of really showing people how to nail the classics.
Well, I mean, I was only saying that because I think even out of 120 recipes, if you have one dish that you have originally created, that's a win. I think most chefs, 99% of the time, you're not doing anything new. It's just hammering down on the basics, which I think is good. I mean, that's how I cook as well.
Yeah, I think I'm not kind of under any illusion that it's all like brand new, and I think all the best things to eat are there already, and you're just kind of riffing on that. And that's kind of the best way to cook, I think.
Yeah, I would love to hear both your takes on the hamburger if you have time, but I guess we're getting close.
Well, I think I've noticed with my age, and I would hear like Bourdain talk about it. I think when a chef has kids, that greatly alters the direction of the future of their cooking, because suddenly they have a captive audience and they just end up cooking for their kid. So that brings them back to the basics. But when I was younger, I think people have more of a desire to have something to put their flag into, have an identity, like I'm the person who invented this kind of thing, have an identity versus, when you get older, like you said, all the great dishes and combinations have already been discovered over thousands of years. So I'm just going to practice making the best version of that. And I think that's where you really win.
Yeah, I think, to respect the classics is probably the smartest thing you can do in cookery, and not try and cut any corners.
That's the smartest thing. That's the smartest thing you can do in life with everything. That's literally the hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah, amen, mum.
Yeah, but you have to leave 10% of the window open for the possibility of creating something. Because we've all, every once in a while, you taste something that you've never had before, and you're like, motherfucker, like, I didn't think that that's cantaloupe and chorizo were going to dance like that, but shiver me timbers.
That's how I felt when I first heard Playboy Cardi. I totally get what you're saying. It's just like a whole new form has been created, and I
this shouldn't work, and it doesn't, but something about it.
No, I think respecting the classics is something that is maybe lost on certain generations, but hopefully they'll come back around.
We'll keep fighting the good fight, all right?
Keep fighting the good fight. All right, Ben. How I Cook is in stores everywhere where you get books, at your local grocer, at amazon.com, amazon.co.uk, bookshop.org.
Can you get me a Gosney for free, Ben? Sorry for interrupting, Chris.
Yeah, no worries. Leave it with me, mate. I'll sort you out.
Leave it with me. Also,
a lot of people claim they're going to get me one, but one's been able to get the ball across the line.
After looking at you for an hour, that you're sort of giving straight Pedro Pascal. Have you heard that before?
You know, I've heard this. If I had a penny, Chris Black, for every time I've heard that in the past. I did this. I did this show.
You look like hetero Pascal.
There's a uniquely British show. A uniquely British show called Saturday Kitchen in where I'm from, and it's a live piece of television where you go on and you cook and you chat and it's absolute chaos. But the first as soon as the little red light went on and we were live, the first thing he said was, "He's giving Pedro Pascal." I feel like I'm hearing it a lot, but you know, you're not the first, Chris. Won't be the last. And I whip this thing off. It'll be
could be a lot worse. A lot worse.
Yeah, people love him. I hear I look like Jack Osborne. You know, it's not the same. Like, you're winning, bro.
Yeah, people tell me I look like a racist quarterback.
I saw a comment recently. I saw a comment recently that said that Pedro Pascal was the universe's apology for all other men.
See, that's a bit
because he's so. It's crazy.
That's a bit much.
Crazy.
That's a bit much. But you should dine on that.
Yeah.
So I know you're married, but you know, do what you can.
All the way to the bank.
Take it. Yeah, exactly. Take advantage.
Bravo, Ben. Thank you for chatting with us. We had fun. We hope you did.
Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Nice one, guys.
And we'll see you. We'll see you soon. All right.
See you soon. Cheers, guys. See ya.
Later.
There is another man.